We see such a bait-dependent matchup. It's all going to be about landing the nuke. Speaking of which, we're going straight for it. Does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. Today happens to be Tuesday, aka League Rotation Day. I'm currently on night shift. I've woke up super early to put this video out for one reason and one reason only. Because to be honest, practice battles and top team videos are absolute garbage in my humble opinion. If you, like me, are not a fan of that content, you'd much rather see some actual Go Battle League footage, this video's for you. We've got an incredible battle submission from Buthesfunnytho, and once again, I'm actually going to say it, this is a full non-XL team in the Open Ultra League. But this team just happens to be the most destructive one out there. With all that being said, let's keep the intro short and sweet. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, Buthesfunnytho is going to lead the Boom Bird, aka Shadow Staraptor, into Venusaur. Quick Attack's an alright move. The only issue is that normal hits absolutely nothing but super effective, but it certainly helps Staraptor reach them nukes. Holy cow. Trainer, what were you expecting? We're a flyer. We've probably got a fly in charge move. We've been like 10 seconds in today's video, and there's the first big boom. Buthesfunnytho then banked his energy on Staraptor, sent out Annihilape. We tanked the first Hydro Cannon. Buthesfunnytho going to shield the second Hydro Cannon. Of course, at this point, we can go straight Rage Fist, but Buthesfunnytho like, nah, we are YOLOing. Just nukes. We throw the close combat. Close combat forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Annihilape will go down from the Hydro Cannon. Staraptor re-enters the arena, looks for the Quick Attack farm down, unfortunately unable to get it, so opt to throw the Fly on the Charge Attack priority. Fly forces the opponent's final Protect Shield, and yes, I love it. Go all in on the Boom Bird and hope whatever's in the back is something we can one-shot. Out comes Skeleturge, unfortunately, not a Pokemon that we will be one-shotting, but we're actually doubled up on Fly, so one. We'll be getting them below half health. One would have knocked out, but Buthesfunnytho like, nah, let's try and catch a Torch Song. The opponent like, I had enough of your shenanigans. There's the Shadow Ball to the face. Typhlosion eats it for breakfast, reaches the Blast Burn, and Blast Burn is going to be all she wrote. GG's that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see Virizion in the lead position. The opponent retreats into Steelix. Buthesfunnytho going to bank the close combat and make the catch onto Annihilape. I thought we were going to YOLO it there and try and force a shield or just get big damage, but I don't dislike the catch. The ever-annoying Steel Snake, all at the second Psychic Fangs. Buthesfunnytho going to invest protection on Annihilape, and we've now got a 2-stage lowered defense. The opponent can actually double shield here just to flip that alignment. That is exactly what they're going to do. Or at least I imagine they're going to do. They've invested one Protect Shield. If you invest one, you may as well go all in. The opponent thinking Virizion cannot see a flyer. But unfortunately for this opponent, we've got two very hard checks for that Virizion. Buthesfunnytho resets his debuff, sends out Staraptor. No, opponent! No. They've gone for the classic you switch, I switch. They got alignment. They then sent Virizion back into Staraptor. What the heck is going on here? Two shields were invested to keep the grass and fighting type away from the flying type, and then the opponent voluntarily sent it out anyway, and it got absolutely wrecked. I am so bamboozled. Buthesfunnytho going to be investing that Protect Shield, receiving the energy for the Blast Burn, and have no doubt, no defense buff is ever saving this Belly Bowl, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle. Shadow Staraptor into Swampert. One thing you've got to know about Staraptor is it is bloody glassy. Thankfully, the opponent hit him for double resisted with the mud shots, and the non-shadow, meaning one Hydro Cannon, is survivable. Buthesfunnytho tanked the first, heavily over farms, fires off the Fly, forced to Protect Shield, and once again, we look to save Staraptor and catch onto Annihilape. Shadow Annihilape, the bulkiest member of the team, and it looks like he's going to be used as a damage sponge in today's shoutcast, and that is a mad concept, as Shadow Annihilape also not the bulkiest. Out comes Skeleturge, the opponent tanks the Rage Fist, commit to the full Incinerate farm down. We send out Typhlosion, we're anticipating the opponent going for a blind Torch Song. The opponent does exactly that. Typhlosion withstands the damage and actually looking to try and resist it. Incinerate farm down this Skeleturge. We shield at the Shadow Ball, do get that farm down, back out comes Swampert. Buthesfunnytho going to over farm. Fire off the Blast Burn. Blast Burn removes Swampert from the field of play, and out comes the Walrus. The opponent doesn't want the smoke. They concede the match, and we're moving swiftly on. Staraptor into Poliwrath. Despite us being a flying type, and the opponent being a fighter, I'd probably rather be Poliwrath, to be honest. The neutral counters are doing objectively more than the quick attacks. We obtain ourselves that shield advantage once again and use Annihilape to soak some energy. The opponent fire off the Icy Wind before sending out Swampert. Annihilape is debuff, which is kind of annoying to be honest, as our oppressive counter damage isn't really hitting that hard. We're going to shield up the Hydro Cannon, farm up, go for the Rage Fist bait. Rage Fist goes unshielded. We look to fire off the next Rage Fist, but lose CMP. Buthesfunnytho actually going to invest the protection on Annihilape and look to just start ramping up this counter damage by going straight Rage Fist. The next Rage Fist forces the Protect Shield. Buthesfunnytho looks for the counter farm down, able to get it back out. Comes Poliwrath. Poliwrath going to be straight in and straight out. This boosted close combat going to be moving them from the field of play. We pivot out into Staraptor. No. No close combat to Sandslash. We've got Typhlosion, and Typhlosion is easily going to feast. But of course, we'd much rather see the close combat boom. But it wasn't meant to be. But either way, we are going to take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Primarina in the lead position. So if you're wondering just how glassy Staraptor is, as I keep saying it, look at that charm damage. We're already below half health. We're going to fire off the fly. We don't even reach 2. Oof, that's rough. Potentially if we only threw 7 quick attacks rather than 8, we might have reached double fly. Buthesfunnytho sends out Typhlosion, shields up the Hydro Cannon, heavily over farms, firing off the Thunder Punch, finally looking to move Primarina from the field of play. Down goes Primarina, out comes Donphan. We're going to YOLO the Blast Burn, and we really need to get out Blast Burn, force the final Protect Shield, and it's all down to Annihilape to clean up. Annihilape hits the field of play, looks to fire off the Rage Fist, but not before Donphan reaches a charge move first. Oof! There's the Poliwrath. We've been landing big booms. This time it's the opponent's turn, and this one ends in heartbreaking defeat in the next battle. We see Shadow and Shadow Crime Staraptor into Rhyperior. This is a very bait-dependent matchup. With both opponents needing to land the nuke, we go for it right off the bat. The opponent looks to call the bait. Rhyperior gets absolutely wrecked. Yveltal temporarily enters the arena. We're going to reset that debuff and save switch this time into Typhlosion. Out comes Glisopod. Holy cow, that is one big bug. For those of you scared of bugs, you wouldn't want that thing running around your house, would you? Typhlosion shields up the Aqua Jet, farms up to the double Thunder Punch. The first forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Typhlosion doubled up, and the second one forced the opponent all shields down. Buthesfunnytho still with a shield to hide behind, not going to shield up Typhlosion. Staraptor re-enters the arena. I don't even think we can quick attack farm down either way. I think we're just going to have to shield and throw the fly on CMP. We actually look to make a catch onto Annihilape. We switch out a bit early. Annihilape can tank any one move. Aqua Jet is going to do around half a health, and Yveltal re-enters the arena. Yveltal going to be able to outpace. Whatever they throw will be knocking out Annihilape, and it's going to be Staraptor versus the world. Staraptor going to go straight for the close combat. They're a dark and flying type. This hits for neutral. Isn't quite lethal, but able to quick attack farm down afterwards, leaving with the fly, and Staraptor is going to sweep the back line. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we see Staraptor into Florges. It's always nice to catch a Pokemon in the lead that isn't applying much fast move pressure. We're going to farm up, try our luck at catching a disarming voice onto Typhlosion. Our catch attempt unsuccessful. The opponent is going to fire off a Moonblast regardless. That is resisted, although someone forgot to tell Typhlosion. The opponent continued to stay, and we YOLO the Blast Burn. Blast Burn removes Florges from the field of play, and out comes Primeape. Primeape wastes no time, going straight for the Rage Fist, wanting to vamp up the Karate Chop and subsequential charge move pressure. Down goes Typhlosion. We're going to send back out Staraptor. Staraptor going to go straight for the Fly. Fly, of course, is going to force a shield. Who doesn't love to shield their Primeape? We then pivot into Annihilape, looking to catch the next Rage Fist. That is a nice catch, but of course, this is a super effective hit. But one is survivable in the Ultra League, and they're never ever going to Karate Chop farm us down. Buthesfunnytho is going to start shielding now. We're going to shield up the next Rage Fist. Out comes Glisopod. Thankfully, this one, unlike the last one, is running Fury Cutter, meaning they are double resisted into Annihilape's Ghost and Fighting type in. Looks like Buthesfunnytho is going to save his final Protect Shield for Staraptor Trainer. Learn your typings. Why would you throw an X at a Ghost and Fighting type? I have no idea, but we're able to quick attack snipe down Glisopod. Back out comes Primeape. This is almost certainly a Rage Fist bait, but at this point no bait's ever going to save this opponent's fate. We quick attack farm down and take that game. In the next battle, we see the battle of Shadow Flying types are very much in the opponent's favour. We're going to save switch into Annihilape, and out comes Toxicroak. Toxicroak does have access to Shadow Ball, but this opponent's running Mud Bomb. If they were on the correct moveset, that moveset that cannot be resisted, with Dynamic Punch and Shadow Ball, they'd be in a much better spot. Annihilape goes for the second Rage Fist, looking to flip this alignment. Down goes Toxicroak, and switch advantage is ours. The opponent sends out Scizor, Oh boy, trainer, you are so weak to Typhlosion. Typhlosion hits the field of play. The opponent doesn't want that work, and they concede the match. I know someone in the comment section is thinking, what happens if you see Giratina in the lead? Or Giratina anywhere, to be honest, the back line. Not going to be a huge fan, and Staraptor's going to have to put in the heavy lifting. Our quick attacks are double resisted, but likewise, we double resist their Shadow Claw. We land the Fly. Fly does some very solid chip damage, and I guess this is how we get rid of it. With Staraptor invests the Protect Shield, blocking up the Dragon Claw, going to return fire with the next Fly. The issue for us here is the opponent has the pacing advantage. Thankfully, the opponent doesn't shield Giratina, instead opting to take their shield advantage and send out Talonflame. We send out Typhlosion. Oh boy, if this is a Brave Bird, we are going to get one shot. Oof, poor old Typhlosion. It was so young, man. We send out Annihilape, and out comes Umbreon. Buthesfunnytho going straight for the Rage Fist. Whilst Rage Fist is resisted, it is going to Vampire attack. I think here we've always got to save the shield. The move coming from Talonflame. Oh my gosh, they're actually on Psychic. While Psychic is super effective, it will do nowhere near as much as the Brave Bird. Is this another Psychic already? The opponent doesn't commit to the next Psychic, which could be a huge mistake. Back out comes Talonflame. There, we should have thrown an extra counter to maximise our energy generation. We actually just went for one counter this time. We do go for optimal timing. 2 counters and the next Rage Fist. The opponent now all shields down. They're able to farm down. We've got a charge move banked. And the question now becomes, is Fly enough from this range to knock out? Yes, it is. And we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Shiny Swampert in the lead position. We've already seen that Staraptor can tank one Hydro Cannon. And we're going to see the instant no shield deployed. I imagine here we're going to look to try and either trap the opponent into the CMP type or throw one before and then look to catch. The opponent actually pivot out into Giratina, and this is essentially where the team wants to see it. Well, at least that's my opinion anyway. But it's funny, they're like, no, Jamie Finn, Typhlosion is a Giratina counter. The opponent throws an awful time in there. I think double Blast Burn is going to knock out Giratina, but it's funny though, going to farm up to the double Blast Burn. Blast Burn's resisted, but Typhlosion doesn't really care about type-ins. We're able to get the opponent deep into the red health range. But he's funny though, just going to let Typhlosion go down, send out Staraptor, heavily over farm, fire off the Fly. Hopefully this goes unshielded. This Giratina is starting to become a problem. Down goes Giratina. The opponent sends out a Charm, Alolan Ninetales. Oh man, the opponent's just going to shield and tap, charm farm down everything. The opponent doesn't even bother shielding up the Rage Fist. They're still able to charm farm us down, but he's finally recognises we cannot win that game and we're going to concede the match. In the next battle, we see yet more tap, degenerate charm action. Staraptor going to strike first, firing off the Fly. Fly forced to protect shield, and we're going to actually pivot out into Typhlosion, which is a bit questionable because potentially we're going to align Annihilape with that Granbull somewhere down the line. Is that a fully maxed out Alola Mola? Oh my days, that's some spice. Typhlosion able to reach back-to-back Thunder Punches. The opponent shield their Alola Mola before committing to a huge waterfall farm down. I think we just shield whatever they throw. They have got like Psyshock, Blizzard, Hydro Pump. Oh my days, they YOLO the Blizzard. So that is definitely a good shield invested. Annihilape does counter farm down, so if Granbull does return, we can just knock him out with a Rage Fist. They actually send out the unshielded Scizor. Poor old Scizor, straight in and straight out. We reset a debuff, send out Staraptor. Staraptor does get tap, charm down, farm down. We've got residual energy on Annihilape. We reach the Rage Fist, and we're going to be able to take that game. I think I said Alola Mola learned Psyshock. It's definitely Psychic. If it learned Psyshock, we'd probably see it more commonly as Psyshock now. A very good charge move. In the next battle, we see Alola Muck in the lead position. We're going to fire off the Fly. Attempt to catch an Acid Spray onto Annihilape. Our catch attempt unsuccessful. But the opponent still throw the Acid Spray anyway. Harshly lowering our defense. But they then send out Gliscor running Sand Attack. So it's not really like this quick move is going to do much. But I guess what it does do is mean one Aerial Ace will knock out. Aerial Ace does exactly that. Staraptor re-enters the arena. Double resisting these Sand Attacks. And is able to outpace to the next Aerial Ace. We're going to see Buthesfunnytho invest the Protect Shield. It looks like we can't quite quick attack farm down, but a nice over farm regardless. We fire off the Fly, roots Gliscor from the field of play. I didn't see what come out, but it's some kind of Psychic type. Oh, it's actually Lapras, so close combat definitely was the correct move to throw. We send out Typhlosion. The opponent pivots back out into Muck. I think we just got to call this. This is going to be an Acid Spray. There's the Acid Spray. Typhlosion rapidly running out of HP. We're going to overfarm, fire off the Thunder Punch. A Thunder Punch will be moving Muck from the field of play. Whilst Thunder Punch is super effective, Blast Burn does do more. We throw the Blast Burn. Blast Burn Rocks the opponent down to around a third health. Back out comes Staraptor. The opponent should be committing to fast moves unless they're doubled up. Are they doubled up? We shield the first Spark and Aurea. Unfortunately, they are doubled up. And this one is going to end in heartbreaking defeat. GG's that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see once again long-time meta Kingpin Giratina in the lead position. The opponent lags a huge amount at the beginning, which is always nice for us, so we need any advantage we can get. I'd normally stop tapping here, but if someone's going to run Giratina, I'd probably do exactly what Buthesfunnytho and tap my phone like a lunatic and say thank you very much Niantic/Scopely for your shitty servers. This Giratina does have ancient powers. It's not only going to hit our bird for super effective, but also Typhlosion. We fire off the next fly, attempt to catch an ancient power onto Annihilape. Our catch attempt unsuccessful. The opponent banks a boatload of energy before sending out Moltres. We're YOLO in the close combat. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Big damage, rocking them instantly into the red. Annihilape still not done. Going to be able to reach the Rage Fist. Rage Fist goes unshielded and down goes Moltres. Back out comes Giratina to get yet more energy together. We send out Typhlosion. Typhlosion going to be investing that Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming Ancient Power. We then pivot out into Staraptor. Ancient Power is a non-stab from Giratina. We should be able to survive one. Oh my days, only just. The opponent then sends out Gator. Running Shadow Claw, so despite us being low, they're going to have a near impossible task of trying to Shadow Claw farm us down. The opponent looks for that farm down. Staraptor says no, reach the next close combat, get that Gator off my screen. Back out comes Giratina. Giratina able to Shadow Claw farm down. Come on, Typhlosion. You are not getting knocked out by an Ancient Power. Easy tank. We've got the Thunder Punch locked and loaded, and Typhlosion is going to be able to take that game. My gosh, that was a bit chaotic. Heading into the next battle. We see Kanto Mark in the lead position. This thing, of course, does have access to Thunder Punch that we're not going to fancy tanking. We see Buthesfunnytho try and catch the Thunder Punch onto Annihilape. Our catch attempt unsuccessful. The opponent could have went for a Dark Pulse, but it looks like they're actually going down the route of double Thunder Punch. We could survive the second, but Buthesfunnytho going to look to keep some health on his Annihilape. The opponent then sends out Toxicroak. What the heck? Is this a Dynamic Punch? Mud Bomb. That's the second Mud Bomb Toxicroak we've seen. I personally think Shadow Ball and Dynamic Punch is the moveset of choice. But what do I know? I'm washed up. We tank the Mud Bomb, go for back-to-back Rage Fist, able to remove Toxicroak from the field of play. But this is just free farm for the returning Kanto Mark. Kanto Mark gets that farm down. We send back out Staraptor, look to fire off the Fly. Fly lightly forces shield, and it does exactly that. We then pivot out into Typhlosion, looking to catch the Thunder Punch. Our catch attempt unsuccessful. Again, the opponent does go straight Thunder Punch. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if they're single moved. As if I haven't said the words Thunder and Punch together enough in this battle, this time it's our turn to throw the Thunder Punch, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. They are double moved. At that time, they do throw the Dark Pulse, and out comes Cobalion. We don't reach the Blast Bone, and this game's over. All they've got to do is throw a Sacred Sword at our bird, and this is GG's. No, the opponent commits to the Stone Edge Trainer. No, that's super unnecessary. We reach the close combat and somehow escape for a dub. Woof. Heading into the next battle. Staraptor into Guzzlord. We're kind of obliged to stay in, as of course Typhlosion isn't going to fancy this much. Wouldn't it be nice if this close combat goes unshielded? Unfortunately, it does force a shield. We're now harshly out our own defense, but we're going to invest the Protect Shield, save Staraptor, and pivot out into our hard counter of Annihilape. Annihilape wastes no time, goes straight for the Rage Fist. Rage Fist goes unshielded, and we've almost moved this Guzzlord from the field of play. The opponent fire off the Dragon Claw, then send out Golurk. Golurk going to attempt the Mud Slap farm down. The opponent recognises we're going to reach the next Rage Fist and opt to dump energy. Shadow Punch removes us from the field of play. Bloody hell, it's nice to bait this thing out as Typhlosion doesn't want to see it. We're going to respect a potential Dynamic Punch. Dynamic Punch would hit for neutral, of course. The Shadow Punch would be double resisted. We overfarm, fire off the Fly. Fly goes unshielded and down goes Golurk. Out comes an opposing Typhlosion. Oh, this is going to get dicey. We bank a charge move, enter the mirror. The opponent likely go double Thunder Punch, as they're going to need two moves. One Blast Burn doesn't quite knock out. The opponent then gives us a Wing Con, or potentially anyway. We just need to strip the final Protect Shield. Trainer, please shield this move. Please, I beg of you. You need to shield. Thunder Punch does get respected. Trainer, you're going to lose charge attack priority. We've got that Fly locked and loaded, and somehow we take that game. A huge shout out to Buthesfunnytho for bringing us some very entertaining, very destructive battles in the Open Ultra League. Today's Tuesday. I always try and put a video out. Of course, this one is a little bit shorter than my usual content, but I'm very pushed for time. I need to go shower, eat, walk my dogs, etc. before I'm back on a 12-hour night shift. Speaking of which, as I'm about to go head to a 12-hour night shift, I'm going to be unable to play myself. So if you want to see me upload tomorrow, get them battle submissions in. We're going to have the Open Master League and the Ultra League Summer Cup. But with all that being said, if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. And I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone for all the support I'm receiving. And I'll see you all in the next one.